has hosted shows on MTV, CBS, Bravo, Comedy Central. He's basically a hosting superstar, so much so that he was named one of NPR's 10 favorite pop culture personalities. Give it up for St. Louis's own Dave Holmes. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, that NPR thing,
yeah.
It was like 2009.
2009?
It was a long
in your
time
bio.
ago. But I know I say recently because I don't want to say.
I didn't say recently.
7 years ago.
Right.
I know, but it's in my bio. But like it was a long time ago.
It's still a big deal.
You get a thing like that and you dine out on it forever.
Yeah,
like you use that forever.
The 10 biggest.
It was like a blog post.
It's still
on
awesome,
NPR.com.
man.
Yeah, you use it. You keep it.
Yeah,
you use
of course
it
you
forever.
do. Of course you do. And right now you have a book that you just put out.
Yeah, it came out last Tuesday.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
I had a chance to read this book, and it's called Party of One. It's funny. It's really hilarious, and it's great. You guys should check it out because a lot of it has to do with you growing up here in St. Louis.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff about St. Louis and how weird it is. You know what I mean? Like it's a great city, but it's one of those. It's a very Catholic city,
Sure.
and it's a very you don't want to
Talk about the sports a lot.
Sure, very sportsy, and you don't ever want to like stick out in any way. You know what I mean? You want to be just kind of like your neighbors, maybe a tiny bit better, but not noticeably better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just kind of there's a scene in it that I think is very St. Louis where we're on Highway 40, and my dad's telling a story, and it's like something serious that happened at work, and his arms are going, and he's looking severe because it's something serious that happened or whatever, and my mom is in the passenger seat, and she's just like. Like that, and he's like, "Why are you smiling at me like that? This isn't a funny story." And she's like, "I don't want anyone to think you're yelling at me."
Yeah, I've got to like
We're going
anybody that's passing by.
We're going 70 miles an hour on Highway 40.
Somebody's just like, "Oh, look at them having a fun conversation."
Yeah, totally.
What a good family.
Yeah, it's a weird place, but I love it.
One thing that
Don't alienate you.
Yeah, St. Louis.
We've only just met.
One thing you mentioned in the book, Halloween, which I live in Holly Hills. Halloween is huge, and I love the story. You dressing up as a Star Wars character.
Well, I used to be C-3PO all the time, but that would mean you would go to Spicer's and you would get the C-3PO mask that was like held together with like a slender strand of elastic, and it would go over your face, and there would be a tiny little mouth hole to breathe. It's a wonder that they were the leading cause of death basically in like 1978 among children, and then you'd have a poncho with like a mural of scenes from Star Wars.
Just kind of like a painted, a printed on.
Yeah, you would be a fresco of Star Wars.
Yeah. People would be like, oh, I kind of get it.
Yeah. But I used to I like to get into a performance. Sure. So like, I would do the this thing, and like kind of go like this and like talk in a British accent. And it was like, I generally had to go alone for 3 years that I did this because nobody wanted to go house to house with me because I was very slow. But if you're going to play C-3PO, you play C-3PO.
You did it for the performance.
I did it for the performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Just people know a lot about your work on MTV, and in reading this book, you really do love music. Like it's.
Yeah. I mean, it was the thing. I mean, I grew up kind of weird, in a place where it's not super cool to be weird. At a time when it was not super cool to be weird. The 70s and 80s were very conformist times. And that freaked me out. And the drug that I numbed myself out with was, Duran Duran.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It was just like music. I threw myself into music and music video and plays and TV shows and all that kind of thing. Like pop culture was sort of my salve.
Sure.
You
use that
in a fancy word for balm, which is also a fancy word.
The kind of way you spun that and kind of used the music to kind of deal with your sexuality and how that kind of related.
Yeah, I think a lot of gay guys do that. That's why, there's a reason a lot of us are into musical theater. You know what I mean? Like it connects.
Sure.
Like you do sort of like you find yourself in music as a kid. You know, and so I think that I grew up in a lot of my gay contemporaries. We all kind of grew up liking the same stuff.
Yeah.
We all responded to the same weird little gay signifiers. You know what I mean?
Give me one.
George Michael doing this in the Wake Me Up Before You Go video. Dayglow, fingerless gloves.
Perfect.
Like throwing his head back. Just gay joy.
With that, you've kind of become a big voice in the LGBT community, and in fact, you wrote for Esquire about after the Orlando shootings.
Right.
It was a powerful article. I just kind of happened upon it, and it was fantastic.
Thank you very much.
You mentioned something in there that you said people who went in there had been pre-terrorized, and I just kind of like wanted to kind of if you could explain.
Well,
that.
I mean, when you grow up gay, you police yourself constantly. You don't want to seem too gay, but you want to if you're in love with somebody, you don't want to show it when you're a kid because you're afraid of it because the world tells you lies about you when you're gay. So the first time you fall in love, you tell yourself you're not feeling it, and then you get angry for yourself for feeling it, and then you feel ashamed, and then you pretend all of that is not happening, and you put a smile on your face, and it's like, you know, the culture of the 70s and 80s, certainly like if you're religious at all, kind of terrorized you. You've always, like, if terrorism is supposed to change your behavior, every gay person has already dealt with terrorism. Everyone's monitored themselves. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
That's a great way to put it. So just really quick, we're going to send it out to commercial. But check out Party of One. 20. It's a memoir in 21 songs.
That's
fantastic.
correct.
You can get it online. You can get it on Amazon, pretty much everywhere. Also, check out the podcast, International Waters. Everybody give a big, warm applause for Dave Holmes.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. We're going to play a game with Dave.
No need to stare clearly. I've got looks to spare. This is a stick up now that I got your attention.